Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, big up the teachers I say. World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, big up the teachers I say. Sing and shout hooray, sing and shout hooray. World Teachers Day, big up the teachers I say. World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, big up the teachers I say. World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, big up the teachers I say. Teachers are the best in education, always going the extra mile for each and every child. World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, big up the teachers I say. World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, big up the teachers I say. Show appreciation for the teachers of our nation. Teachers are the best in the whole country, educating everybody. World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, big up the teachers I say. World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, big up the teachers I say. Teachers doing this, teachers doing that. Education, sports and culture, preparing young minds for the future. World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, big up the teachers I say. World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, World Teachers Day, big up the teachers I say. On World Teachers Day, St. John's teachers shout hooray. On World Teachers Day, St. Max teachers shout out hooray. On World Teachers Day, St. Patrick's teachers shout out hooray. On World Teachers Day, St. George's teachers shout out hooray. On World Teachers Day, Carriacou teachers shout out hooray. On World Teachers Day, St. Andrew's teachers shout out hooray. On World Teachers Day, St. David's teachers shout out hooray. When you get your pay, teachers shout out hooray. If you want to pray, teachers shout out hooray. If you want to pray, teachers shout out hooray. Teacher Jude say, sing and shout out hooray. Teacher Jude say, sing and shout out hooray. A very blessed good morning and a special good morning and welcome to this very special press conference organized by the Grenada Union of Teachers at this very moment, showing appreciation to our teachers as we get ready to celebrate World Teachers Day. So I want to take the opportunity to greet our nation, the citizens of Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitimatnik, all those who are listening to the various mediums on Facebook and otherwise. I take this opportunity also to offer special greetings and appreciation to our wonderful and dedicated teachers throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitimatnik. I also take the opportunity to special thanks and welcome to the media house here. Without you, this press conference would not be possible. To TNR Communications, to GBN and MTV and all the other persons who are here just sharing the love this morning as we explore and we show appreciation to our teachers, whether retired or active service, and also to raise other matters of concern for our members. So with me this morning on behalf of the Grenada Union of Teachers are two special gentlemen. We have the first Vice President and the second Vice President here, and they would introduce themselves.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. Thank you to the media. Thank you to the nation as a whole. I say blessed morning to everyone. And my name is Tommy Duncan. I'm the first Vice President of the Grenada Union of Teachers.
Thank you, Mr. President, and good morning to everyone. My name is Honest Richardson, second Vice President of the Grenada Union of Teachers. I just would like to say, I'm happy to be here to big up all the teachers as we go to celebrate World Teachers Day on the 5th of October. It will be World Teachers Day. So teachers, wherever you may be in Grenada, Carriacou, Pitimatnik, the Caribbean and the world, we just want to appreciate the tremendous job that teachers has been doing over the years. Thank you.
Thank you very much. And I'll just give an overview in terms of the starting point of really showing and delving into why we should really appreciate our teachers. So the theme for the World Teachers Day is empowering educators, strengthening resilience, and building sustainability. Good morning again and welcome to the Grenada Union of Teachers press conference. On this very special occasion, World Teachers Day, our nation, Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitimatnik, the Caribbean, and the world at large, let us celebrate, appreciate, and show love to our teachers, past, present, for the invaluable sacrifices that teachers make and the many lives that our teachers have so generously touched. 1 Corinthians chapter 12, verses 28, and I quote, "And God has appointed in the church first apostles, second prophets, and third teachers." Look at the position, the significance, the importance in the biblical order of things ordained by God and by Jesus Christ, the master teacher. Teachers comes even before miracles, speaking in tongues, and nowhere in this order you have ever heard about the politicians. But the word of God spoke about teachers. Teachers, you have an awesome responsibility ordained by God to teach, to educate the nation's children and the children of the world, imparting knowledge, skills, shaping, touching, transforming lives through education, morally, spiritually, setting a solid foundation to build our nation. Good and productive citizens, taking people and young people especially, families out of poverty. In every aspect of life, the Grenadian society, social, educational, spiritual, moral, ethical, political, government, in every sector, every household, both private and public sectors, across various ministries, institutions, workplaces, churches, schools, have been touched, impacted by the caring, loving hands of teachers. And as the Prime Minister, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, has stated in his address to the United Nations with great emphasis on education, let us value, show love and appreciation to our teachers and provide educational opportunities for every child. Just as every day should be Mother's Day, every day should be Teacher's Day. On this World Teachers' Day, let us love, show respect, and appreciate our teachers. I now open the floor to Brother Tommy Duncan, again to express and to bring greetings to our teachers, and followed by Brother Richardson.
All right, thank you very much, Mr. President. Teachers, the teachers of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique, we recognize you for your invaluable contribution that you have made to this nation. You have made contribution not just in terms of academics, but you have made contribution through the extracurricular activity, namely sports, the different girls' guides, for example. Also things like, for example, cricket, basketball, all of those. So we want to thank you in a very special way for those contributions. And we must give homage to you, the teachers of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique, for the just concluded CPEA and the CXC. And from my research, I know that the students have done extremely well, and you must take a bow for that. So we want to continue to thank you as teachers of Grenada. And we, for this week, coming on Friday, we'll be having a get-together for teachers. But also for this week, we're asking the nation to pray for our teachers, to uplift them, and to congratulate them for the work that they have been doing over the years. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Brother Richardson.
Yes. I would like to look at the historical part of World Teachers' Day. World Teachers' Day didn't just come about. The ILO and UNESCO taught it best in a convention in 1966 to recognize the importance and the tremendous amount of, what we should say, suffering that teachers was going through throughout the world. And in 1994, that was the day, the 5th of October, it was designated by UNESCO as World Teachers' Day. The struggles, the advocacy that was done in order to let persons know the importance of teachers in the community. And teachers has been doing tremendous amount of things, as Brother Tommy would have mentioned, in every facet of life. As a result, you are here today because of the tremendous efforts that teachers have placed on you, whether you are a journalist or whatever. The teacher has made his mark in every facet of life. And therefore, teachers cannot be unnoticed, go unnoticed. They need to be recognized, and there comes the 5th of October when the community around can recognize the impact that teachers has made. And therefore, in Grenada, we are asking you as the community that you should, in some way possible, ensure that teachers are treated properly. So, probably GBN can give something to a teacher. Somebody in the community can also give something to a teacher. In addition to that, we have to ensure that, as Brother Jude said, that in the United Nations, the Prime Minister made special emphasis on education, and it is very important to note, but we would like for the Prime Minister to demonstrate that also in ensuring that, teachers are put in the correct place, paid properly, and everything like that, so that we would be able to lead out as teachers. So once again, teachers, enjoy your day come the 5th of October, but we will be celebrating it on the 3rd at Guave in St. John's in the Anglican School. So once again, teachers, hats off to you for the tremendous work that you have done. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. We're going to I want to take the opportunity to say, teachers, when you think about teachers of our nation, teachers of Grenada, Carriacou, and PT Martinique, for years upon years. Sometimes teachers go unnoticed. The love of a teacher. A teacher is like a mother. A teacher is like a father. A teacher is like an uncle. Somebody, a stalwart in education. Sometimes teachers go the extra mile, taking on the role quietly of parents. Teachers, they do not boast of some of the things that they do, the sacrifice that they make in terms of impacting and touching lives. And sometimes when you look back, even now in your career, in your workplace, wherever you are, you look back and you remember this one teacher. These teachers who have gone beyond the call of duty. Sometimes at times in your lives when you were stressful, you were going through some sort of problems in your family that your family probably didn't even recognize. And that teacher spotted it out. And that teacher, while you were giving up or wanted to give up on yourself, that teachers, they never give up on you. And that teacher would have sparked curiosity, caused you to energize and to learn again. The teacher who would have gone through the extra mile in terms of giving you the lunch money sometimes when you didn't have, the break money, that teacher who would have counseled you, that teacher who would have adopted you and make you like their own, bring you in as a family and weekend, take you sometime to stay, the advice that you get when you were down, and that teacher lifted you up. And the history of teachers in terms of touching life, not only in academic education, but that love. So you see the teacher there as mother. You see the teacher as father. You see the teacher as counselor. You see the teacher as the generous giver. And all the different things are too many to mention of the role of teachers. And sometimes as a nation and society, we do not take the time to really appreciate and to think about the teachers, not only as educators and imparting knowledge, but the shapers of society, the social factory and educational factory that really and truly transform society and transform our nation, take out children and people and family out of poverty, whether in sports, in culture, in academics. You look at teachers also, not only in education, the church, even the churches today should be showing appreciation to teachers. As that's what we say, as every day should be Mother's Day and every day should be Teachers' Day. Because not only in academics and in our nation, the value of our teachers, sometimes we take it for granted. Even in church, teachers do almost everything. You're talking about sometimes the fair, you're talking about the harvest, you're talking about some teachers teaching Bible classes, communion classes, educating in denominational schools. And we call on the church also, just as we call on government and the Ministry of Education and other members of society, to really and truly stand tall and to show respect and appreciation to our teachers and to stand up for our teachers for social and economic justice. When the teachers sometimes call for it, sometimes we feel let down by even sometimes the church and other places. But without our teachers, and so society will be at a standstill. And today we must appreciate and recognize, even if your job as prime minister, your job as a policeman, your job as the nurse or doctors, your job as counselors, engineers, wherever in the hotels and other places where you are, teachers, so take a bow, stand and think sometimes where you are, and to reflect on that teacher or teachers who would have shaped your life, guide your life, touch your lives. And sometimes the teachers are hurting. Sometimes the teachers are hurting because it's not the money only or the pay. Because the pay that we get or the salary is nothing and could never compensate for the sacrifices, the invaluable sacrifices that our teachers make and what teachers have been making from years to years, shaping and going through the extra mile in sports, extracurricular activities. When other people are going home, the teachers sometimes late in the night, they are the ones sometimes accompanying children, making sure that they get home. When persons are sleeping, the teachers are planning 24/7s. When school falls short and such and don't have the funds, the teachers, people don't understand, making all sorts of different things, whether in the tuck shop, cooking meals, sharing. The teachers at the preschool, the little ones, when parents have to go to work in the morning, these teachers have to be there early. They are teachers too. They have to make sure that the children are secure and protected. In the evening after school, when the teachers are late, even in preschool and in special education in other places, when persons do not come for the children in time, the teachers have to wait there and stay back and to make sure that the children are protected. And that is the love, the sacrifice, the unblemished love of teachers in our nation. And we call our nation to really think deep. And to sometimes our teachers are hurting. Sometimes our teachers are crying out with the injustices we see sometimes. As we say, show appreciation and respect to our teachers. We see sometimes teachers cry. They feel hurt in all the sacrifices that they make. Sometimes we know that the nation parents really support our teachers. But sometimes there are one of you who come and they humiliate, they embarrass. Sometimes they come to fight and chastise our teachers. Sometimes students do the same, not all. We know that almost the entire nation rally behind our teachers. But there are exceptional cases where teachers are hurt, teachers are disrespected, teachers are abused and victimized and oppressed in so many different ways. So we ask in all these ways of respect and recommitment is for all the nation to really think and to pray, to love and to appreciate, so that the teachers set the foundation with the nation's children to take Grenada, Carriacou, and Pitimatnik forward. And so before we continue, I'm going to read a poem here, showing appreciation to our teachers. But there is a thought there. Teachers make them all. All aspect of your career and all aspect of life. Teachers make them all. And it says there, engineers make bridges. Artists make paintings. Scientists make rockets. But who make them all? Teachers make them all. And then it says here, strong teachers touch lives. And I quote, in the classroom, a teacher stands, guiding minds with gentle hands, nurturing young hearts and souls, helping them reach their goals. Their words are more than just a lecture. They spark curiosity and adventure, inspiring students to explore and strive for something more. Through lessons, laughter, and tears, teachers shape the coming years, building a foundation strong and true for students to pursue all they wish to do. So here is to the teachers, wise and kind, who light the way for curious minds. May their influence forever shine, and their legacy be one of a truly grand design. For teachers today, and World Teachers Day, as we celebrate October 5th, but really and truly, October 3rd will be the day when we celebrate in Guave, St. John's at the Anglican School, really and truly showing love and appreciation to our teachers. So I would like for the first Vice President and the second Vice President to just highlight the activity of the day for World Teachers Day. And then we'll take it.
Okay, thank you, Mr. President. Now, on the 3rd of this month, of October, our celebration will be at Guave. And our main focus will be on our teachers. At that event, we will have, in the evening, we will have a quiz. And that quiz is among the different parishes. So we have the 6 parishes that will be represented in that quiz. And in that quiz, we will see different items coming up in terms of the union, the history of the union, math, science, and so forth. So we are testing, that's the time that we are testing our teachers in terms of their knowledge as it pertains to all the fields that I mentioned. And it's a very, very competitive event. We have that event before. And of course, we have defending champ, which is St. George's Branch, and the other branches are looking forward to dethrone St. George's Branch as the reigning competitor or the reigning winner. So we look forward to all the teachers being there. Other than that, there would be other activity which the second Vice President would talk about. There would be other activities, but one of the main events there would be the quiz among the different parishes.
President?
Yes. On the 3rd at St. John's Anglican School, the teachers would be there, and we would be coming all forces, because we have the quiz organized by the Education and Research Committee of the union. So hats off to those committee members who have worked hard to realize that dream. Also, we'll have the culture and social committee. They would be working on the various aspects of the day. We would even have some teachers that are entrepreneurs. They would be doing their bit there also on that day. So it would be a compact evening. All road leads to St. John's Anglican School. And after that, you would also have Fish Friday. So teachers would have a really lovely time to enjoy themselves. And we have, there would be some swallowship, as we normally say. So teachers would come out, get something to drink, get something to eat, and we have the quiz, which would be one of the main focus on that day. So all teachers, you are encouraged to be there at St. John's Anglican School come Friday the 3rd, World Teachers Day. Thank you.
Thank you very much. The Grenada Union of Teachers, showing appreciation. We don't wait on others. We don't wait on the Ministry of Education, the GUT. We don't wait on government. But the Grenada Union of Teachers leading the way by example and showing appreciation and love to our teachers. We do it all the time. But it's a special day, World Teachers Day. Culture, singing, song. I know the president of the Grenada Union of Teachers with his new song will do what he has to do to entertain also our teachers with poetry, karaoke, and all the different things, so that we can appreciate, love, and respect our teachers in that very special time. So as we continue, we have not forgotten Carriacou and Petit Matnik, because they are part of the Grenada Union of Teachers. So from tomorrow, the Grenada Union of Teachers, our members, will be going over to Carriacou and Petit Matnik, and on Thursday, we have some a special occasion for the teachers of Carriacou and the Petit Matnik branch, where the Grenada Union of Teachers, we will treat our members and show love and appreciation to them in Carriacou. And then we return Friday morning and such, organize and prepare for the big activity, that big day over in St. John's. So as we continue more or less with this formal aspect of World Teachers Day and showing appreciation to our members, we're going to continue the love there. I also want to do another little poem there showing appreciation to our members. And when we do that, even in that aspect, we're going to touch. I'm going to leave the poem for a little while. What we're going to do now is to call on the Grenadian citizens, to call on parents, to call on students, to call on the entire nation, wherever you are, to do what you can to big up our teachers, to show love for our teachers. And at this time, remember the retired teachers, those who have touched our lives and your lives, make contribution towards the teaching fraternity, education, and Grenada. And as they in the years of retirement and such, there are teachers who are sick. There are teachers, as we know these days, a lot of teachers die. A lot of teachers are dying even before they receive their pension and gratuity and a number of different things. You listen to the news. So we recall there are teachers in the hospital. There are teachers who have retired. They are at home. Once they touch your lives and you are young and vibrant now in age, when you can look back and remember and to reach out to these teachers, retired or in active service. Go and help somebody, a retired teacher who might be sick. That person needs a hair plait. They need probably a little shower. They need a little meal that you can cook something for them, you clean the yard and such. Remember kindness and gratitude in the small way, or the little way that you look at. Even from government and such, we want that government to look after in a better way probably the retired teachers, those who seek and probably need access to medication, to a number of different things. So you show appreciation. And two, what we want, the hotels in Grenada, the hotels, guest houses, restaurants. Somebody remember the teachers, as he said there, everything, wherever you train in your career, it's the teachers in whatever field who have touched your lives and shaped you and empower you so that you can be what you can be. So a little tangible sacrifice and such. In the hotels, give the teachers a little massage, because it's stressful now to teach for every day. It is not easy, Stress. Teachers are under stress and they need a little relaxation, a little massage in the hotel. Call in some teachers, all the hotels and guest houses, if they do that for this week and such, and say, I'm taking 2 teachers for the weekend, 2 teachers for the weekend. Give them food, drink, relax. Make them relax so that when they go back in the school environment, they energize and such, and they feel loved and appreciated to continue the great job of teaching the nation's children. The Boss Association give teachers this week and on World Teachers Day a little free ride. A little free ride and everything. Because even with the buses and all those things, and as you calculate your change and different things like that, so the teachers who have shaped you and touched you. So whatever you can do for the teachers, so as we say, the Boss Association, throughout the various ministries, we haven't even called, and the Ministry of Education and Government of Grenada yet, Because yes, they will send greetings to World Teachers Day, but the Ministry of Education could probably do something for the teachers in the various branches together with your various districts. Where is a nice meal? It could be a special day, lunch, on the head of the Minister for Education, the PS in Education, the CEO in the Ministry of Education, the government of Grenada. Teachers touch lives and shape lives. And shape Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Without teachers, this nation and every nation dies. Teachers through education that keep a society alive and vibrant economically and all the different things. So the Ministry of Education, during this week, that wouldn't hurt your budget. Bring in a little drink for teachers, the various districts. Show love and appreciation. Children in the school. You may not have all the monies to do everything, and we're not saying that. But a little sweetie, before children, the love that children had long before in my early days of primary school education, children didn't have much, but they show love and appreciation to their teachers. That is when teachers were really respected and appreciated. A little mango, a special one, they have it for teacher. Yes, the best mango, they bring it for teacher. The best fruit, they bring it for teacher. A little chocolate, a little sweetie will touch a teacher's heart, will touch a teacher's life. Sometimes a teacher you don't have to do anything much. You write a little note to your teacher because you don't have anything much, and that little special note telling the teacher how much you mean to them and you appreciate for the sacrifices. That teacher might cry, even in the class, are hidden with the words. And so children, write a little letter to your teacher, show appreciation and respect. Don't grieve the teacher's heart and break the teacher's heart with the sacrifice. The teachers love you, The teachers love the nation's children. And sometimes children might feel, well, the teachers don't love them because the teachers might be strict for their work. They talk to you and put you on the right track. You mightn't see it now. But today, when you look back and you turn into a man and a woman, a big man and a woman, you turn back and you watch your lives and you say, thank God that teacher. I know of many instances where big people who were stubborn and all those things in school, and they remember and they say, that teacher, they give me a 2 little belt, and that teacher, they beat me, that teacher, they do that. But today, I thank God for that teacher because that teacher has shaped my life and touched my life and put me back on the right track. So sometimes you don't see it now. And parents, we calling upon you because we see sometimes the tension. The teacher don't mean bad. The teacher wouldn't just go and abuse a child and all those things. That's a different level. But many times the teacher is correct with love and to guide you and all those things to put you back on the right path. And sometimes the teacher gets the bitter end of the stick. All those things are show love and appreciation, respect for your teachers and the entire nation. Do something this week for our teachers throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Brother Tommy, is there anything that you want to add there? Or Brother Richardson?
Yes, I am thinking that, as Brother Jude stressed, that these various persons in the community need to show appreciation to teachers. In my days gone by, I remember that children used to show and parents used to show great appreciation to teachers by giving them some, whether it's something from the garden, whatever it may be, to just, make them feel appreciated. So we must not just go about probably trying to do something far-fetched, but just do something within your means that would show appreciation for teachers during this week. So once again, just continue to do that, because teachers are the ones that shape the future. Whenever difficult situations arises, they come to the classroom for the innovation of the teacher in order to solve those problems in the future. The teachers are the one that create the future. So we need to take good care of them. Thank you.
Thank you very much. As we continue, so now as we get ready now to more or less put an end to the World Teachers Day activity and to move on to other matters that concern teachers and to link it to show appreciation, I would end that aspect with a poem, I Want to Be Like You by Joanna Fouch. And it says here, so the students and all the nation, saying in terms of they look as the teacher as the model, their role model, the heroes and heroines of society. And this poem is saying, I want to be like you. Thank you, teacher, for being my life's role model. When I consider all you have taught me and reflect on all the kind of person you are, I want to be like you. Smart, interesting, and engaging. Positive, confident, yet unpretentious. I want to be like you, well-informed and easy to understand, thinking with your hearts as well as your head, getting, gently nudging us to do our best with sensitivity and insight. I want to be like you, giving your time, energy, and talent to ensure the brightest as possible future for each of us. Thank you, teacher, for giving me a goal to shoot for. I want to be like you. End of quote. So as we continue and we journey into now other matters that affect teachers, other matters that if they are implemented will continue to show love, respect, and appreciation to the nation teachers, with all value to teachers and to the teaching profession. And as we say that, I would want to touch on aspects and other persons here, or call on them, other presidency and vice presidents, to continue and to join what we're talking about. And we're going to talk about the aspect of regularization, the regularization of teachers first. And to note and to say, in appreciation to the Ministry of Education and to the government of Grenada under this dispensation, under this new administration, for regularizing in 2023-2024 112 teachers. And then again in July and August of 2025, just recently before we come back to school, 225 teachers were regularized, temporary teachers, given prominent status. So we thank the government and the Ministry of Education, because those things are part of showing appreciation to our teachers. Teachers who are temporary, they didn't have no job security, they don't know how to start and when to start their family, to buy a new home. Now they can do it. And so we thank the Ministry of Education and we thank the government of Grenada, showing love and appreciation. And we call on these teachers who are regularized to take their role and their responsibility seriously. Now that you have the job status and you have, a secure job, to do what you have to do to really teach the nation's children and to do a wonderful job. But as we talk about regularization, there are quite a number of teachers who weren't they're 5 years and above in the system and they were not regularized. And those teachers are a bit hurt. Every day they call the union. Every moment they call me as the president of the Grenada Union of Teachers. As the minister, the Minister for Education did say, teachers 5 years and over were regularized. And some teachers were miss out. And they keep calling. So we asking to show love and appreciation for these teachers 5 years and over, who really and truly over the years are still in the system. They have all the basic qualifications and they have a secure space and they weren't regularized. So we ask the government of Grenada and the Ministry of Education to take note in this press conference. And this is a very important moment for the press, all right, for GBN, MTV, TNR, and all those who are listening. And so to bring it to make sure that the teachers are really regularized. Together, as we say to other workers, because we speak for other workers, but our teachers to be regularized and have security of tenure. I want to make a special plea this very day as we approach World Teachers' Day for a special group of teachers. And I really want the media to carry it in the news and to carry it further. There are a group of teachers who are teaching hard. They are working hard, diligently. They are committed, going beyond the call of duty. But these teachers have not been regularized. They have not really gotten the opportunity to go to teachers' college because these teachers, they do not have maths. But they are wonderful teachers in the primary school. In the secondary school, mathematics is not a problem because of specialization and all those things. In the primary school, one of the basic requirements is mathematics. But those teachers were given the job. And they are there years upon years. Some teachers, 15 and 20 years, And if you know who these teachers, some of them are, tears coming out in your eyes. So I'm calling upon the minister, the Honorable Minister for Education, the Honorable David Andrew. I'm calling upon the Permanent Secretary. I'm calling upon the new CEO, Dr. Diane Jeffrey. And I'm making a plea right now to the Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell, because I know he is a Prime Minister that listens and touch hearts, and to show appreciation for this group of teachers without maths. And they are in the system long. And some of them are getting ready to retire. And if they are not regularized, they're going to retire at the very low end of the scale. And these people, a lot of them have really gone beyond the call of duty and really doing a wonderful job. The crime is that they just cannot, although they attempt the maths, they just cannot pass it. That doesn't mean to say they're not doing a sound and effective job. That we can put together basic requirements or criteria to make these persons regularized. The appraisal that they pass it, and quite a number of different things. But I'm making a clarion call on this World Teachers' Day for the Ministry of Education and the government of Grenada. The real true appreciation that you can show to these teachers without maths, and they are in the system already. We're not talking about teachers, new teachers coming in the system without mathematics. They are there already. Secure these teachers. Regularize them. Regularize them. Give them the opportunity to go to college, to have a secure job, and to continue the wonderful work. So we are looking forward to that, for love and appreciation for our teachers. There are some teachers in special education. Not all the regular normal teachers in the school of special education. Some teachers who teach in the resource center, they are blind. They teach in the resource center, school for special education. They are blind. Some of them are deaf, physically impaired. And what happens is that they're doing sign languages, other stuff. But Grenada don't have all the institutions and such to really educate these people and to give them all the different certificates and all those things that they are. But they're teaching now, and some of them are approaching next year, the last year, this year. Are those persons going to retire hot? And think about that, a teacher who is blind, a teacher who cannot speak, or a teacher who is dumb. What a teacher would fall back on when a teacher retire. So we're calling upon the Ministry of Education, the government of Grenada, to create the avenues for these few teachers, all right, to become permanent so that they can get a pension. They can get a pension. As I sit here, I remember a teacher in Carriacou, Dave, I can't remember his last name, somebody probably could help me. I think he taught at Hillsborough Secondary School. And for 38 years, he was doing music and all the different things. And he has not received anything. There is a law for special pension. And those persons, quality teachers, are hurting. The appreciation and the love for them too. All right, so these are some persons that we look out for in society. So we call on the Ministry of Education and the government of Grenada to look out for these people and to appreciate them and to care for them. And the best way is by giving them a pension, securing the job, so that education can grow and blossom in Grenada. And finally, on this matter, we have some persons in the Ministry of Education. They are the guidance and counseling officers. They are the truancy officers. They are the DOs and such who have been working in the Ministry of Education for quite a number of years. Some 10 and even more than 10 years. and they have not received any job confirmation. These teachers are regularized already in their school, that the Ministry of Education took them from the school, bring them to work in the Ministry of Education across governments. Not only this government, but across previous administration. And they're just there doing government work, serving as truancy officers, guidance and counseling officers, district education officers, but they receive no new confirmation. So basically what they are doing, they're not confirming the new posts, and they are holding or basically creating some hindrances for the teachers in their space in the school to be regularized. So it's like a traffic jam. So the government and Ministry of Education confirm these people across the ministries and the Ministry of Education, so you can free up that space so that those in the schools, you have teachers and principals acting for years, and they cannot be confirmed because somebody from that school who was a principal before went down to the Ministry of Education as a DEO and in another position, and the person acting in the school there for years. And unless the Ministry of Education or government do not regularize or confirm the person who was once the principal in the school and goes down to the Ministry of Education, that new acting principal would never be regularized, or that new teacher would never be regularized. It is unfair and it is unfortunate. And so as governments regularize and Ministry of Education, take those things into consideration and show appreciation for everybody in the system. All right, so I'm going to call now on Brother Tommy Duncan to talk about a group of teachers, the technical teachers who have been struggling for a long time, and then Brother Ernest Richardson with health and safety in the workplace.
All right, thank you, Mr. President. I know by now we sound as a broken record as it pertains to the technical teachers, because since 2009, these teachers have completed a certificate. Now, what we know is that the accreditation board has accredited this certificate. It is in line with that of a qualified teacher. We know that, we also know that Cabinet and DPA have approved or given the green light to upgrade these teachers. However, it seems as though it is easier to get to the moon than the Ministry of Education to complete certain things that they have to complete to send to PSC. And that has been on stream for almost 2 years now. So we are making a special plea again to the Ministry of Education to please complete what they have to complete so that it can be sent to PSC, so that these teachers can be upgraded. These teachers are very frustrated as it is now, and they have reached the end of the rope as it pertains to their upgrade. Remember, it is since 2009. So these teachers, if we are talking about technical teachers, it is important that if we are talking about technical studies in Grenada, the teachers who are responsible for that, we need to give them what is due to them. They must be upgraded, and maybe we can do that for this year's Teachers' Day. We can make sure, ensure that this is done as soon as possible.
So before Brother Ernest Richardson, I'm going to go back and support Brother Tommy Duncan. We are Paul from the Grenada Union of Teachers. We have been dealing with this matter with the technical teachers. Remember, education in Grenada is not only just academic, but technical and vocational education, TVETs. And that's the way that Grenada is moving with skills. And so if you don't show appreciation to these teachers, who would want to venture into those areas to teach the nation's children? Since 2008, these teachers are suffering across governments. But what is hurtful and painful is that Cabinet approved. The accreditation board have accredited these technical teachers, 9 of them, a long time ago. And Cabinet under the Honorable Deacon Mitchell has approved this thing months ago for these teachers to be upgraded and compensated. Yes, they have a lot of money to get, and some of it will be retroactively because it's to tell you from 2008. But if Cabinet could approve these things and somehow, and the PSC is getting the blame, many times as the PSC quoted and said, many times the Ministry of Education are telling us and saying to the nation or to people that those things are done in PSC already, and PSC don't know nothing about it. The Public Service Commission don't know anything about it. So they are using them as a scapegoat sometimes. So you telling me cabinet approved for these 9 teachers, technical teachers, to be upgraded and paid for all these months after they suffer from since 2008, and somehow that thing not reaching PSE yet? Every time you call or you ask, you hear it in PSE, but it can't reach there. What is the hold up? What is the conscience of those people who are in charge of leading? And those persons, wherever they are, could be really and truly messing up government. And so it's government responsibility and cabinet to ensure that when they give directives and such, that they have the checks and balances so that people could, to ensure that the work is done. Because the blame is going to be on the government. When they approve already, and probably they're not too sure what is happening. So I'm appealing to the Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Dickon Mitchell. He must get vexed and be mad when he heard that they approve for the technical teachers for all this length of time. And up to now, it's just a whole ring a roll around with these people. Something is wrong. And that doesn't add well to the education system. To show the love and appreciation is not just the money, the respect, the love and appreciation for our teachers. And teachers tired go through this thing from administration to administration. Where is the conscience? Where is the love for all the sacrifices that the teachers have made and have been doing? Where is it? So we know and put on record that this administration, it really and truly have been making some headways and trying with our teachers. So they must vex and be mad when they know that they approved this thing so long and the technical teachers have not been upgraded and paid as yet. Who's sitting down on those things? Who's sitting down? Get up. Get up from the seats. Teachers are hurting and crying. Teachers are going through a lot of pain. Get up from your seats and do the work of the government that the government give you to do. They cannot do everything, but they pass on that role to you in various ministries to serve the teachers and the workers, public servants of the nation. And do what you have to do. And stop making the tears of the teachers fall on you. Stop it. Show appreciation and respect and love for the teachers. And don't do like if you're doing the teachers a favor. And you sit down in your various ministries and teachers have to wait on you and other public servants have to be waiting on you long and begging you for something when the government approve. That is disrespect. That is not showing love and appreciation to our teachers for the sacrifice that they make. The teachers who mold and shape the government, the ministers, and all those high people in the ministries of education. The teachers who used to go in the kitchen and sometimes cook in the shed, sharing food and bringing it up to make these people and to educate them and to shape them. And today the teachers have to be crying out for things for these very sad people who they shape and touch their lives. Cannot be fair. Cannot be fair. Brother Richardson.
Yes, thank you very much. A lot has been happening in education, but there is still more to be done. As it relates to health and safety in the workplace, we have a number of schools that they are infested with moles, and we need these things to be approached speedily, ASAP, so that our teachers' health, is very important. And also, we talk about the fencing of schools for the protection of teachers and children. We need this thing to be done also in various schools. In addition to that, some schools, there are leakage from the roof and things like that. And when these leakage takes place, what we are having is that moles are growing on the walls. I don't want to call some of those schools out now, but the DOs, they know exactly the schools that I am speaking about, and we need these conditions to be improved. In addition to that, preschools. In preschools, there are no persons in the preschool to clean, so no cleaners. We need that to take place there, because in the preschool, the teachers, they are burdened with the children. You can go there and you would see it's not easy to take care of these children. And in addition, they would have to sweep and clean the classrooms. No, we say you should find cleaners for these preschools. Some preschools, they are in precarious, what I would say, conditions. There isn't a escape route. Riverview, you need to fix this thing so that in case of an emergency, we need to have those things adhered to. In addition to that, we need to have a policy where we would have the health and safety for hazards and all other hurricane, earthquakes. These policies to be implemented in all schools throughout the length and breadth of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, so that in case of one of those hazards, our children would be safe and our teachers would be safe also. So these are some of the trying conditions that teachers are working under and still producing. So we need you to attend to this. For example, St. David's Secondary School, the teachers there, they are under trying conditions, but we are happy now that a new school is being built. So the condition would be improved. In addition, it's extremely hot in some schools. I mean, take for instance, Carriacou with the Ply School from the burial disaster. We need to see how we can fix those problems as quickly as possible to make life conducive for both teachers and students. So we are asking and we are pleading that you take up the mantle on those things mentioned here today as it relates to health and safety, so that our teachers and by extension our students would be able to have better working conditions provided for them. Thank you very much.
So, thank you very much, Brother Richardson, as you spoke about Carriacou and Petit Martinique, and we show appreciation to them. The Ministry of Education, yes, they have been trying in terms of assisting them after Hurricane Beryl. We still have a lot of families, we still have a lot of teachers without adequate housing and those things, so we'll create problems for even teaching. So we're asking that the government of Grenada and the Ministry of Education to continue to keep an eye on Carriacou and Petit Martinique for both teachers and students and other families, you know, as they continue to improve their lives that are also negatively impacted by Hurricane Beryl. So this is something that you show love and appreciation. You're talking about even special education where in Grenada, in Grenville, Victoria, and some other places where we take for granted it is not easy when you're dealing with children in special education, and at this time to show appreciation for those teachers, whether in the primary, the secondary, tertiary, wherever they are, making deep sacrifice with children who need special needs and attention, and to know that even from where in the special schools where it should be 5 children to a class, and now it's probably going up to 9. And so the assistants, to show appreciation to those teachers and to the school by giving a helper teacher or somebody who would alleviate or to help the burden, because it's not easy to deal with even one child in those special cases. So those teachers and those schools, special love and appreciation when they go with this beyond the call of duty and those things that are to really teach the children with special needs. So all those things we have to look at in terms of and trying to help and to develop education and such and to show appreciation. So I'm really happy that you touch on those things with health and safety and all those schools throughout Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique that really and truly need repairs for the advancements of education for the nation's children and for our teachers to do a better job. So as we continue, we talk about the teachers with bachelor's degree. They do it in education. The teachers with a master's degree. Show appreciation. That's the time, World Teachers Day. Not just in words, but in action from the Ministry of Education and Government of Grenada. Yes, they are trying, but there are some teachers with a bachelor's degree and such right in education, and they have not been upgraded. They've been bringing this stuff, and for what reason they have not been upgraded and paid. and the pain of the teachers with their master's degree. The Grenada Union of Teachers have negotiated with the government of Grenada in its collective bargaining agreement for teachers with their master's degree that they receive an inducement allowance. These persons, teachers, are not paid in the salary for masters. They're not paid for that. But it's an allowance of $255. Not no big set of money. And from administration to administration, they cut it out. Can they find that the teachers were getting to imagine the government under even the previous administration have encouraged and asked teachers in Grenada to do higher studies. Go and do your bachelor's and your master's so that you can keep up and transform education in Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique. Because they recognize that other teachers in the Caribbean were advancing more than the teachers in Grenada. And the teachers do it, and the Ministry of Education have something that they call priority lists and priority areas. So what they're saying to teachers, we ask the Ministry of Education to get rid of these priority lists and areas for upgrading our teachers. So they're telling you that if you're teaching maths in the school, if you're teaching mathematics, and you go and do a degree in leadership and in management, and you go and do a degree in accounts and in biology, they don't want to upgrade you or give you the allowance. Because they're saying it's done, you should be teaching maths and maths alone. But in Grenada, you don't teach maths alone. Education is dynamic. You could be called upon to teach any subject at any time. And so if you do that, you're destroying education, the transformation of education. So stop doing the teachers that is a way it comes like the teachers who were under contract and they were temporary for all this time. That was something that was designed by government to keep down the wage bill and to keep down so they're not paying any money. And right about now, for what reason the teachers do the master's degree, upgrading themselves and transforming education? Why is it for all these years when some of the same people in the Ministry of Education and in government, the union have negotiated and they receive all their monies and their compensation for the inducement allowance? So I call again on the Honorable Minister for Education, the Honorable David Anjou, or a new CEO, Dr. Diane Jeffrey, and the Honorable Prime Minister, the Honorable Deacon Mitchell. That is a sour grapes for teachers. On this World Teachers' Day, is the pain and the hurts of all those teachers who do their masters in education and no reward. We know it's not easy for this administration, because this administration had to come and do all that the other administration didn't do. But government is continuum, and they have to do it in good faith. They have to do it in good faith to make the teachers feel loved, appreciated, and motivated. Money is not all, but at the same time, you need it also, because the teachers do sacrifice. And so is that pain and that hurt of the teachers who with their masters and their bachelors, especially the masters, for the inducement allowance. And let the teachers feel happy for World Teachers' Day. We reached some point with the Ministry of Education, with DPA, where we reached an agreement where they would pay. They said that they would pay in principle with a meeting that they had. They have to broaden the scope and the definition for education. It was promised to us by October that will become a reality. So we're watching and to see what would happen by October. We're not forgetting that at all. For the inducement allowance for the teachers with their masters, promise make. And we ask this new administration to really dig deep and to do it. And to make sure that the teachers with the bachelors are compensated, just as the teachers with the masters. They would upgrade, and we have agreed for retroactive payments. We are human beings. We understand the situation, and some of the teachers may not be able to get all the monies one time. But the retroactive payments for them, it will come in stages. So what is the delay? If we agree that the teachers will be upgraded, and then retroactive payments in phases, we're reaching government and the ministry halfway. What is the delay of really and truly reinstating those things? And that is what we want to see for World Teachers' Day, and to really appreciate and show love to our teachers. We're talking about now NIS. NIS is a thing. I shouldn't say a thing, but that scheme, National Insurance Scheme, where we highlighted creating a problem for our teachers and for workers. You tell me that the government retirement age is 60 years, and NIS retirement age is 65. The boat cannot sink or add up. So when teachers and public officers retire in government, because it's compulsory retirement age of 60, you have to wait for until 65 to get your NS pension. And if you could take it at 60, but if you take it at 60, you get in a punishment every year going up by 5%. Until 2029, 30%. So you saying to our teachers, after they work so hard, teaching is a stressful job. Teaching is a very stressful job, you know. By the time teachers retire, you can't even enjoy the little benefit that you get in. Most teachers know, and people are dying young and dying before even age 60. So it is painful and hurtful. They're always moving the ladder and the goalpost further for the working class and for our teachers and public officers. And so that is a bitter and a sour grip for our teachers and members of the public service and for workers, that you have to wait until 65 to really get your NIS pension. If you don't want this penalty of how many percentage, 5% going up every year, it's unfair and unfortunate. And we call on the government of Grenada with NIS to do something about it, to show love, if you want to show love and appreciation. Because you could do what you want. We thank God for the 1958 pension. But the 1958 pension alone can't really, by itself alone, sustain a life after you retire. You know. That's when health problems come in, all sorts of different things at your most vulnerable state of your life. So the two pensions coming together. And so you tell me now, if you get your 1958 pension at 60 and you don't want that penalty from NS, you have to sit there as a retiree and wait until age 65 to get what? An NS pension is not a lot of money. It is hurtful. It is painful. People are working hard, but they're crying out inside. So we call it on the heart of the administration, NDC administration, the heart of them. Let it pump with love and let it pump in a way to go back and to look at those things, to really and truly fix and to correct these measures. Because those things on the one hand are putting teachers and workers in poverty in one stage. And to fix it, the NIS. And when you die with NIS is what? $2,300. If you don't, some people not even getting their pension, you know, teachers and public officers, you die before, and what you're getting is $2,300 as a burial is unfortunate and is unfair. So we want that to fix, and we will not rest until this fix. The GOT, really and truly, for 112 years, have been the movers and the shapers of this country. GOT have always stood not only for education and educating the nation's children, but for social and economic justice, where others have failed to go and to stand up. It is the Grenada Union of Teachers that has stood up for the working class people of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit Martinique, and we shall continue to do so. So as we wind down, we go down here. TAMCC lecturers. The lecturers, they are part of Grenada Union of Teachers. They are part of higher education, higher learning, tertiary education in Grenada. So we salute them too. And we are really and truly in negotiations with a new collective bargaining agreement for the lecturers at the T.A. Marisho Community College. We just finished winding up that negotiations, and that agreement now has to go to the government of Grenada to be approved. So we're calling on the Honorable Deacon administration, who seems to have a love and appreciation for labor, and really and truly have been trying to really and truly make promises and to live the standard of life for our working class people, for teachers and the public service, to do what they have to do to approve this new CBA for the lecturers at TAMCC under the Grenada Union of Teachers. And we look forward for the 2025 salary increases that have not been paid for the lecturers at TAMCC as yet to be paid soon. And to the other things, fringe benefits that the GOT have negotiated for the first time for the lecturers at TAMCC. For all these years, the lecturers at TAMCC had no fringe benefit like the other teachers. That is love and appreciation from the Grenada Union of Teachers. And let the love and the appreciation for the lecturers at TAMCC flow from TAMCC, from administration of TAMCC, and also from the government of Grenada. And we say hooray to that, and we thank God for that. So I think we almost exhaust if there is anything that we did not say here. So we just want to give the opportunity to Brother Richardson and then Brother Tommy Duncan to just wind up and such, and I will just close with that. We have more or less exhausted. I think one more thing we're calling upon. We heard that there are some teachers who have not been paid as yet from September. We know September last year. We know sometimes hurricanes and storms have their season. And last year the GUT took some industrial action to really and truly, because there were quite a number of teachers that weren't paid. Not to say we want to go back there this year, but it appears that there are some teachers who the same thing appear to like a recurring decimal. And so we're just giving a nice friendly notice on this World Teachers Day, a gentle notice that there are some teachers who the same thing happened to and they weren't paid. And we're calling on the Ministry of Education to do what they have to do to make sure that these teachers, some teachers have to pay their rent, they have to pay their mortgage. Once they miss their money, we are the working class people, we don't have other incomes. So once you don't pay on time, it affects everything else. And that's the life of a teacher and the working class. Though we work hard and we sacrifice, we don't have all the extra incomes as some people. The very same people who we teach in society, we are not so fortunate. We depend on our salaries from government. And if at times there are some teachers who don't get paid, they cry and they hurt the whole family, they can't feed them, they can't pay their rent and all the different things. And so show love and appreciation for all those things, for teachers and for public officers and for everybody else. So Brother Richardson, I give you the opportunity to wind down, and then Brother Tommy Duncan, and then I'll just say a few words of closing, and then if the press have any questions or anything to ask.
Okay, I just want to remind teachers of our youth forum that will be taking place on October the 17th, 2025. We also have youth primary school football is back, and the GUT is partnering with the GFA in having primary school football back on the calendar of events. So these are some things we also have coming up somewhere in December. We have our Victor Antoine road race, and these are just some of the reminders that persons should take note of. But also I would just like to, let teachers know that we love, we appreciate them, and the GUT is fighting tooth and nail very hard to ensure that teachers receive the just wage, the just social compensation in whatever way possible. The GUT is fighting hard to ensure that, and as we celebrate World Teachers Day, you must be known that we appreciate you and all the efforts that teachers put on a daily basis. So teachers, we appreciate you and continue to work hard as you shape the future of the world. Thank you.
Brother Tommy Duncan.
Thank you. Very importantly, as a union, we appreciate you as teachers. But there is one thing that is of utmost importance as teachers. You have to also remember that it is important that you as an individual take care of yourself. Take care of yourself when it comes to your mental, your physical, your spiritual, your emotional well-being. It is important that sometimes you sit back and pay attention to you. We have been doing and paying attention to the students for years. Students come, students go. And we have not focused on ourselves. So this week, up to Teachers' Day, we ask you in a very special way to put the focus on you and take very keen and special care of yourself. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Brother Tommy Duncan. Wise words. While Brother Tommy is saying take care of yourself, he's not saying that you must neglect the nation's children. He's just saying that you have to take care, we have to take care of ourselves. And just quickly before I wind down, there are two quick points. In appreciation for our teachers, our principals are complaining that we negotiated the Grenada Union of Teachers in the last negotiation cycle have negotiated a benefit for principals where nobody wanted to be principals because principals were the lowest paid lower than even teachers who were in the system. We successfully negotiated to bring up the pay and grade of principals, to bring the primary principal from H to I and the secondary school principal from I to J. And what the principals are saying even while they receive payments of the new grade, somehow in the Ministry of Education have gotten rid of the allowances that the principals receive because they pay them. And we principals are saying that it is unjust and it's unfair. So we're asking for World Teachers' Day to restore the allowances of principals that they should receive. Even acting principals should be receiving some sort of allowances, and that did not happen. And seniority allowance for teachers who finish college, there is something, a collective bargaining agreement that have been signed for many, many, many years. It is sunsetted so that the Ministry of Education should not stop that payment. Only one set of people who receive that, seniority allowance. Once you finish college as a qualified teacher and you pass 3 appraisal, you should be receiving the seniority allowance. And it has not been paid across administration. Not now, across administration. So we asking it is sunsetted, meaning that it should not stop until government have a new pay and grade for teachers. That's what it means. Sunsetting, and it should continue until there is a new pay and grade. And that is not in order. For World Teachers' Day, we're asking the government and the Ministry of Education to consider and to reconsider and to show love and appreciation for our teachers by restoring the seniority allowance. I want to take the opportunity to thank our listening public through the length and breadth of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique, the Caribbean, and the world at large. I just want to big up our teachers for the sacrifices that you make. Teachers, you are the best. It is not easy to be a teacher in today's world, especially with the challenges of the younger generations. It is not easy, it is challenging, but our teachers are dedicated to the call of duty. Our teachers, really and truly, the invaluable sacrifices and the commitment that you make. And at this press conference, on behalf of our teachers and the Grenada Union of Teachers, I want to renew, in the sense, and challenge our teachers. In spite of all those things, the money is not the only thing for our teachers. Our teachers make all the sacrifices you could think they of, extracurricular, otherwise, and the teachers will continue to do it. So we challenge you and we challenge us to dig deep and to make that extra sacrifice to continue the wonderful job that you are doing and go beyond the call of duty to teach the nation's children, every child, individually and collectively. While as teachers, World Teachers' Day, and we challenge the government for more pay for all the different benefits. Yes, that is good. But we also, as the union, challenge our members. You do a wonderful job, but renew the call and your responsibility placed before us by God, in third place in the scriptures, as we say, and to go beyond the extra mile and the call of duty to teach and to educate the nation's children and to transform the economy of Grenada, Carriacou, and Petit-Martinique. Teachers, you are the best, and we love you. Long live the Grenada Union of Teachers.
Long live.
Yes, we.
I just wanted to ask a question. I wanted to clarify on the World Teachers' Day. What time does the event start on the 3rd? That was not mentioned.
So it starts at 2 p.m. Yes, and 2 p.m. because St. John's is a far place. At the time, yes, we get a half day for that by the Ministry of Education, but by the time you reach up there, so it starts at 2 p.m.
Just chime in a little bit on the teachers with special needs. Just to clarify, they're in the service, but they're not, should I say that they're not permanent teachers? They're not teachers? How do they classify?
Yeah, so in that situation there, we're not talking about the ordinary teachers in the school for special education. They are ordinary teachers who have all the qualifications and everything. They're not the persons we're talking about. We're talking about there are some teachers, because of their skills, they have special needs. Some of them might be physically impaired, they are blind and all the different things, but they might be aiding in sign language and nobody could do it better than them. because they developed that skill. They probably did a few little courses, but you can't compare and use these teachers the same measurement that you measure an ordinary teacher for those persons who say, well, okay, you shall not receive pension because you haven't reached, you don't have maths, you don't have social studies, you have science. And that's what we're saying, because Grenada here doesn't really have the institution and all the different things to upgrade these people. And because of the special needs, if you think about it, those persons will retire soon. And what they're going home to really do, how would they make their daily bread? So in conscience and everything that we're saying, that there should be special appropriation for those persons to be given, make permanent, and to receive a pension, so that when they go home, they don't have to beg their daily bread.
So you're basically saying the limitation to upgrading themselves is due to inaccessibility within the learning institutions.
Yes, so that should open also the eyes of governments and educational institutions as we transform education to make more needs and space for people with special needs, and so they can upgrade themselves and such and things. And while we say that also, we also remember the challenges of special education. Those schools, yet it is nice to say we have school for special education, but they need all the various probably technology and improved devices for speech aid and all the different things. Wheelchair, and it is not easy to teach in a school in a special education. Sometimes people don't know. The special buses and such. Each school for special education should have a special bus for wheelchairs and all those things like that. Should have ramps and different things and more space. So while sometimes we talk about the normal schools have challenges because you still have people, you have students in the normal school also with challenges. But in those schools, sometimes we take for granted and sometimes we do not appreciate the scope of work and all the sacrifice that is made. So we're asking government also to train these teachers in these schools so that they could improve their lives, they could go to college, special training for them to deal with the children in advancement and such, and the trust of government, and to look after the people in the resource center and those persons who are so unfortunate. And that's what we are.
So what is happening with these teachers now? They would just be there as aides and at the end they just go home?
Well, they're a teacher, but probably when they retire, they might get a little NS and pension, but that is not enough. And so we call in on government because of the situation, and government kind of speak about have special consideration for these people. And the nation have, conscience and for those people too with special needs. And so we cannot forget them. And it will be unconscionable, and none of me, too, while we plead and we cry out for teachers to be regularized in all the normal facets in education, to forget and ignore those persons. And so I think the best thing that we could do and to push for with all regularizing everybody is for those persons with these challenges.
But how many schools presently facing a lot of this infrastructure issue? Because I know, was it last year or year before, they did do some infrastructure work on some of the schools. Was it last year or year before? Yeah. How many schools remaining now with these?
Well, there are a few schools, and the government have been building new schools. You have St. Andrew's Anglican there. I think there are some problems there as challenges, but it's a mark for, and they start the work already. But there is probably a little hold up because of some challenges. St. David's Secondary School, we are very thankful and appreciated that it come and stream. Yeah, I think there is something with Cali's government and such, but Florida government. What we are not hearing about is St. Giles Anglican. St. Giles Anglican, that school in somewhere in Mount Camille up there. Because once we heard about Southtown ceremony, we know that they brought the teachers and students, they merged with Munich and such, and we have not heard anything again. So we call in, we have not forgotten that, the Anglican Church, and such. That's basically your school, and you should push, while the Grenada Union of Teachers, we take note of it, what is happening with that situation, with that school there, with St. Giles Anglican. So we call in and we take note of that. But I think the Grenada Christian Academy and such, so there are lots of repairs.
Even Munich school itself has...
Yes, even Munich school, Holy Cross, have some challenges. As a new school, it really look nice, but the cracks and the different things, if you have inspection there and such like that, so it is not easy. So while they build new schools, we have always been saying that the weakness of governments and the Ministry of Education, sometimes they think that the union is the enemy. And if you approach the union and you dialogue with the union and you dialogue with principals and teachers, even while you're building, you would not have problems in the end. So don't see the union as your enemy. See the union as your friend to help to solve problems. That's what we are together. As union, as government, as parents, as teachers, we work hand in hand with the nation's children. And so one thing we observe with new schools, the older schools before had more space. And we keep telling the Ministry of Education that all the old schools that we went to before, they were wider. The new schools now, nice design, but a narrower. So if you have COVID and you have all those things, you can't get no 6 feet inside there. And if you listen to the teachers and the union and others, we probably don't have all the engineering skills, but we have common sense. And we'll be able to tell you, well, you need to change your design. We also observe there were wisdom in probably governments and people long before. We're not saying we don't have it now in this modern time, you know. What we observe in schools before, there is a central place and spot for the staff room, and there was a central tactical place for the principal's office. Common sense will tell you that. When you're designing school with all the challenges before, there must be a tactical place where the principal should be able to spot out from every direction who coming in and who going out. Whether children, whether parents and such. That's how school used to be before. The new design in school now, the principal office is quite in the back in a little corner. There is something that is, even if you have cameras and you have stuff, there is something that is a little bit different. The principal must be the first point of contact of entry and such, and all those things. That the schools that you build now, also the airspace, you have the fancy blocks and those things right around the weather side. Yes, it might be able for cooling, but some of these same schools are marked for hurricane shelters. If the wind blow and the rain heavy, what will happen? Everything flowing in and water coming inside. How will you bring people there? You don't have special places for hurricane shelters. It's the school that you use. All right? So these are the things. If you discuss with teachers, you discuss with principals, everything is from top down. Where is the bottom up and such, the dialogue with our teachers? Our teachers will give you ideas, and parents and everybody, that you will never be imagined. We're not enemies, we must be friends. And World Teachers Day, as we dialogue and we strive for the transformation of the education system in Grenada. We all love our Grenada. We all love and to see Grenada go forward. Whether parents, whether teachers, whether educators, whether everybody from whatever sphere of life. And we have to really and truly work together to make sure that Grenada becomes a better place. Thank you very much. Thank you. So the song, we want to give you the song, GB and other places to play with a little song for World Teachers Day. We don't do no big thing with how you call it again? With records and with CD. But we have it in a way where we really want you to spread the message and to play that song towards the various media house for World Teachers Day in appreciation. So Mrs. Pierre, we want you to pong it over so for us. You're going to get it at other places. And we thank you. Thank you very much.